For over a quarter of a century, one golf ball has pretty much ruled the world. And you know exactly which golf ball I'm talking about. The gold standard, the undisputed king, the Titleist Pro V1 and its sibling, the Pro V1X. But a new challenger has entered the ring and they're making some pretty bold claims. PXG, a brand that has never been shy in the golf industry, has thrown down the gauntlet with their Xtreme Tour golf balls. They are promising tour level performance, explosive distance and amazing feel. Is this all just marketing hype or have they actually produced a Pro V1 killer? It's finally time to put the PXG Xtreme Tour golf balls through their paces. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the review, I want to quickly explain my testing process because it's turned into somewhat of a trademark for this channel because I test every single golf ball the exact same way. I test a lot of golf balls on my channel, and if I can test them all in the exact same way, then I can make sure that I can put them all up against each other. So even though I'm testing the PXG today against the Pro V1, I'll still be able to compare the PXG's numbers against the likes of TaylorMade, Callaway, Strixon, and all of those massive brands you know and love. So here's how the test actually works. I use 4 different clubs while testing: the lob wedge, the pitching wedge, the 7-iron, and the driver. That way we can see what the performance is like throughout the whole bag. I gather a lot of data for my test as well because I hit 20 shots with each golf ball with each club. To make sure I'm comparing each golf ball like for like, I maintain the same club head speed throughout all of my tests. For the lob wedge, for example, the club head speed is 50 miles an hour, which is basically a pitch shot. And I use fuller golf swings for the pitching wedge, the 7-iron, and the driver. And finally, I only use the best 15 strikes from each data set to make sure that I'm showing you guys reliable data. I'm not exactly a tour pro, and we don't want to be seeing fats and thins in our data set. So that explains the testing process. Let's have a look at the results. We're starting with an area of the bag where scores are made, the short game. This is a 50-mile-an-hour pitch shot with a lob wedge where spin and control are everything. First up, let's have a look at the benchmark results. The Titleist Pro V1 gives us a carry of 49.6 yards with a spin rate of 5,612. Its firmer sibling, the Pro V1X, is similar. The carry is 49.3 yards, but spinning a touch less at 5,608. Now, those are our baseline numbers for premium control. The Titleist Pro V1 golf balls are known for their short game. So if PXG can keep up with these numbers, they're on to a winner. So let's see what they can do. The PXG Xtreme Tour carries over a yard further at 50.8 yards, but with noticeably lower spin at 5,243. The most impressive number here, though, is its carry dispersion. At just 4.1 yards, it's incredibly consistent. Next up, the PXG Xtreme Tour X. It's managed to match its sibling's carry number with 50.8 yards, and it's spun a little bit more at 5,568. That puts it right in line with the Titleist golf balls. However, its dispersion was the widest in this test at 12.2 yards. That shows that it might be a little less predictable when it comes to these touch shots. With these pitch shots, the Titleist showed the most spin and control. However, the PXG golf balls were carrying that little bit further. For me, the winner of this test is clearly the Titleist golf balls. When it comes to pitch shots, we're not looking for longest carry, we're looking for the most control. And both of the Titleist golf balls have incredible stopping power with this club. Now for our first full swing of the test, let's move on to the pitching wedge. The average club head speed for this test was 77 miles an hour. Again, we're going to start with the benchmarkers, the Titleist golf balls. The Pro V1 sets the standard with a 133.6 yard carry, excellent dispersion at just 5.5 yards, and a spin rate of 6,464. The Pro V1X carries a touch shorter at 132.8 yards, but spins more, as expected, at 6,674. On to the PXG Xtreme Tour golf balls. The ball speed is really impressive at 101.3 miles an hour, leading to the longest carry in the test at 136.1 yards. The spin rate is almost identical to the Pro V1 at 6,465, and the dispersion is even better than the Pro V1's at 4.6 yards. It is so impressive to see this golf ball compete so well with the Pro V1. Can the PXG Xtreme Tour X maintain this standard? It produced a strong carry of 134.7 yards and the highest spin rate of all 4 golf balls at 6,752. On top of that, its dispersion was still extremely good at 6.1 yards. I would argue that the PXG Xtreme Tour X is the best golf ball when I'm hitting a full pitch and wedge. Great spin rate, great carry number, and great dispersion. These PXG Xtreme Tour golf balls are very, very good so far. Alright, it's time to look at the workhorse of the golf bag, the 7-iron. The average clubhead speed for the 7-iron test was 87 miles an hour. With this club, you need that perfect blend of distance and stopping power. So let's see how these golf balls perform. The Pro V1 gives us a 168.2 yard carry with very high spin rate of 5,967. The Pro V1X is similar, carrying at 167.3 yards, but spinning even more at 6,127. This is the iron control that tour players trust. By far the most popular golf ball on tour is the Pro V1X, and tour players love that golf ball for its incredible control. Can the PXG golf balls compete? With the Xtreme Tour, the numbers are eye-opening. The ball speed jumps up to 120.1 miles an hour, leading to a massive carry of 172.6 yards. That's over 4 yards longer than the Pro V1. But here's the twist. The spin number is way down at 5,219. It's a very similar story for the PXG Xtreme Tour X as well. It does have the highest ball speed of the test at 120.3 miles an hour, and that's given us a carry of 171.9 yards. But again, the spin number is much lower than its Titleist counterpart, coming in at 5,634. With the 7-iron, these test results were extremely clear. The PXG golf balls are built for distance, and the Titleist golf balls are built for spin and control. And that just goes to show that all of these golf ball manufacturers can tailor build golf balls for specific players. Okay, let's pause for a second and have a quick recap. With the lob wedge, the Titleist golf balls were a clear winner with great spin and good carry numbers. With the pitch and wedge though, the PXG golf balls managed to match the Titleist balls with their spin numbers, but carry the golf ball a little bit further. In my opinion, with the pitch and wedge, the PXG Xtreme Tour X was the best golf ball tested. But for the 7-iron, these two manufacturers have chosen two totally different paths for golf ball design. The Titleist golf balls are designed for better control, while the PXG golf balls are designed for more distance. The PXG golf balls aren't just competing, they're offering a totally different performance profile. But the real question is, what happens when we hit these golf balls with the big stick? Now this is the one you've all been waiting for, the driver test results. The average clubhead speed with a driver was 100 miles an hour. Can these PXG golf balls really compete with the king? First up, let's have a look at the Titleist results. Now for disclosure, all 4 golf balls in this test produced nearly identical ball speeds at around 151 miles an hour. So the battle comes down to launch and spin. The Pro V1 gives us a carry distance of 253.5 yards with a spin rate of 2,678. The Pro V1 also had the best dispersion in the test at just 12.9 yards. The Pro V1X carries a little bit shorter at 251.2 yards, but has the highest spin rate of 2,972. And I think that spin rate is what led to a wider dispersion. It takes an extremely good golfer to be able to control the spin of a Titleist Pro V1X. It's so easy to add that little bit of extra spin with that golf ball, and when that happens, the carry suffers. But if you can strike that golf ball well, then it's going to work well for you on the greens. But let's move on to the PXG Xtreme Tour golf balls. First up, the Tour. This golf ball is designed for piercing flight, and the numbers confirm that. It has the lowest spin in this test at 2,314, resulting in a carry of 250.1 yards. Now when it comes to the PXG Xtreme Tour X, this golf ball delivered the longest carry of the day, tied with the Titleist Pro V1 with an impressive 253.9 yards. It created this with a much lower spin of 2,468, creating a powerful, penetrating ball flight with good control. Off the tee, the PXG golf balls delivered on their low spin promise. The Xtreme Tour X was the longest golf ball, and they promised that it would be. But what was really interesting to see was the ball flight of these golf balls. It was very noticeable that the PXG golf balls were flying lower than the Titleist Pro V1 balls. The carry numbers were very similar between the PXG and the Titleist golf balls, but with the PXG spinning less and flying that little bit lower than the Titleist balls, they are definitely going to roll out further than the Pro V1s. Data is king, but golf is a game of feel, sound, and confidence. How do these 4 golf balls compare around the green? The PXG Xtreme Tour is all about a soft, muted experience. Around the greens, it has a very quiet sound that players who love the standard Pro V1 would really appreciate. It feels like it really compresses into the face, giving you that great sense of control. The PXG Xtreme Tour X is the polar opposite. It's firm, it's crisp, and it gives you a more audible feedback, very similar to the Pro V1X. You can feel and hear the power. Players who prefer the feedback of a firmer golf ball will gravitate to this one. With that said, both of the PXG golf balls feel slightly softer than their Pro V1 counterparts. If I was to put them in order of feel, the PXG Xtreme Tour is the softest, followed by the Titleist Pro V1, followed by the Xtreme Tour X, followed by the Pro V1X. Both of the PXG golf balls use a 338 dimple pattern, and both feature a new, thinner urethane cover. PXG claim that these golf balls aren't just soft, they're very durable. After hitting a lot of shots today, the covers have really held up well with both of these PXG golf balls, and that's a big deal because that puts them right in line with the durability that you expect from a premium golf ball. Before I give you my thoughts, I want to hear from you guys. Have any of you tried the new PXG Xtreme Tour golf balls out on the golf course? If you have, how did they stack up against the Pro V1s? Get in the comments, let me know what you think. And hey, if you found this data-driven breakdown of these golf balls helpful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because there's plenty of data-driven content on this channel. So let's answer the big question. Did PXG make the Pro V1 obsolete? No, they haven't. Of course they haven't, but that's not the full story. The Pro V1 and the Pro V1X aren't obsolete. They are great golf balls and they have a 25-year-long legacy of trust. However, PXG have shown how serious they are as a contender. In my testing, they offered a distinct performance alternative to the Pro V1s. If you want to hit the golf ball further, the PXG golf balls are a great choice. If you want to see better stopping power with your irons though, the Titleist are going to be the better golf balls for you. For years, the main argument against moving from Titleist was the potential drop in performance. That argument is getting harder and harder to make. PXG has shown with data that you can switch and get a different, potentially better fitting performance profile. And when you factor in the price, which is often lower than the Titleist Pro V1 golf balls, the PXG Xtreme Tour golf balls suddenly turn into a great offering for many golfers out there. The king definitely hasn't been dethroned, but the castle walls have been breached. It's a serious contender for the crown, and its name is the PXG Xtreme Tour golf ball. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week for another video.